Do you think there's a culture of excessive pay at the top of the public and private sector?
Absolutely. People are earning phenomenal multiples of what the average worker in their company or organisation is earning, and they're not embarrassed about it. That's the amazing thing. People that are pouring these utility and fuel prices onto ordinary people are earning £4.5–5 million a year and paying it out to their mates. That's a problem, but it's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is excess profits and the charges that are being put on working people, but also low pay and lack of dignity in those companies and in the subcontract companies. So there's a lot for them to be embarrassed about, and they should deal with it quickly and come to agreements with trade unions and make a fairer and more equal society.
Do you think Keir Starmer has the answer to these problems?
Well, the first thing he's got to do to give an answer is to show that he's in empathy and sympathy with working people who are really struggling. Some of those people are in disputes, but some of them are at food banks struggling to meet their bills. So he's got to show he's got a set of values that identify with that. And then he's got to get a set of policies behind those values that show he's going to deliver in power more for working people to rebalance this society. So he's got to work with people at this meeting, people all around the country, people in trade unions, people in all sorts of groups, to show that he's a man of the people and that he's going to deliver for those people when he wins his election.
And you said recently that the working class is back. What did you mean by that?
Well, the working class is back as a phenomenon, as a force, because for a long time people have been saying, haven't been saying I'm working class. I'm very proud of being working class, and I'm very proud of being part of the organised working class, the trade union movement, along with the political part and the cultural part, which we used to have a very strong factor of. Working class people have got to have their own identity and their own agenda that delivers for them, not the people that own society, the people that generate the wealth in our society. So it's got to be a whole movement. So I think we are back, and we're starting to express ourselves more coherently and as a distinct element in this society. That's a good and positive thing. Don't hide your light under a bushel. Stand up and say, I'm a worker. I'm going to join a workers' organisation and pursue a workers' agenda. That's what we want.
And do you think trade unions are better equipped to deal with the crises that are affecting us now than they were 10 years ago?
I do, because we're less interested in lobbying people to do things on our behalf, to do us a favour. We're starting to demand it in the workplace, at the negotiating table, through proper organisation of workers. Getting those workers into unions, getting them into campaigns, and if necessary, taking them into industrial action to pursue our demands. And we're not waiting for the politicians. If the trade unions are in the working class communities and in the workplaces, we will pull the politicians towards our agenda. And that's been proven, I think, with some of what the big regional mayors are saying, what some people that maybe from the middle of the Labour Party are saying, but even some of the political commentators that may be on the right of this society to start saying, well, we need to address these issues. The cost of living crisis is right on top of us, and something needs to be done now. We're not getting that from the Tories, but more shamefully, we're not really getting it from the Labour Party. So they need to get their act together and show that they're with us rather than either being neutral or being against us.
And some people are calling this a cost of greed crisis. Would you agree with that?
Well, it's greed. There's profit being made. There's billions and billions of pounds being made in profit, and there have been all through COVID. We saw all that with the corrupt contracts. None of the big corporations made losses. There were no massive bankruptcies due to COVID. But what they're saying now is, we're going to preserve our profits, we're going to preserve our place in the stock market, we're going to keep paying these dividends, but you lot, the workers that have done all this for us, have got to take a haircut, and that's a big thing for me, because I take a haircut every day. But they've got to take a haircut in terms of their cost of living, and real terms pay cuts, but also cuts to their conditions, their holiday pay, sick pay, all the other benefits, along with pensions. We're not going to accept that. We've got to change that round and change that equation, and we've got to have a redistribution of wealth, which is what this all is about at the end of the day.